Matthew Perry was 54 years old when he passed away on October 28th of 2023. He was found dead in his hot tub in his LA home. When all the authorities got there, they realized that, this man passed away, but didn't look like there was any foul play going on. And many people would say that, he was in this hot tub days before, posting on Instagram. And clearly I was waiting to see what this toxicology report would say, because we see many of these celebrities and these actors and actresses end up like this, and it's sad, it's disappointing, but it's one of those things where obviously many people would say, did he bring this upon himself? Was his drug use so out there that he couldn't be stopped? They have it, it's accessible to them, they have the means to buy the drugs, and they're not being told no. It's a strong possibility this is where you're headed. I was always told when you started using drugs that you're headed jail and deceased. There's two options for you. At this point, who are they going to hold accountable? Every single person in his life. A lot of times there's nothing we can do as family and friends to stop our loved ones or people that we know who are drug users. You've got doctors, you've got people who are there, and they are being told by the actor or actress, I need this drug, I need this medication, I'm in terrible pain, blah, 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 blah. And at some point they feel like if they don't supply them, it's like a catch-22. If I don't, I'm not gonna get any other people, any other clients. He's gonna say, stay away from them, they're a horrible doctor. People like Matthew Perry, he holds a huge presence in the entertainment realm. He was on a show that was on television for probably 25 years. I don't know exactly the number, how long Friends was on. I never watched it. Wasn't my cup of tea. But the fact is, he is a star, And so they probably had a hard time saying no. And certainly, I definitely don't want to go to a route where I'm making excuses for these doctors. If they had any morals, ethics, or actually held up to their code of conduct, being medical professionals, or just even assistants, his assistant was somehow implicated in this, So when you think about this, it goes to a morality issue, right? Do I do the right thing and lose this job with Matthew Perry? Or do I do the right thing and tell him, I'm not going to the doctor, I'm not picking up this prescription, I'm not filling this, I'm not helping you, I quit? Or are you like the doctors and you say, I'm sorry, sir, you're gonna have to go your own way. I'm not gonna lose my license to this, and I'm certainly not gonna get in trouble because of your abuse of this medication. Which, if you think about it, at this point, it's crazy to think that a drug dealer was caught up in all of this. So you have two doctors and a woman who was known as the Queen of Ketamine involved in this. Details coming out around this, the fact that he paid upward of $55K a month allegedly for ketamine, and the woman that was the actual drug dealer, living in LA in such close proximity to him, that must have been just a flood of drugs available to him at any time. You could see a person's downward spiral coming from a mile away. This is a red flag. This lady's got the face I got. I'd be like, what the hell happened to Matthew Perry, right? And if you had time to read Matthew Perry's book, talking about all his relationships with all kinds of women, and the one that he really, really liked that had no interest in him back, you do feel kind of sorry for the guy, but in most respects, God, a lot of us have to deal with rejection. A lot of us have to deal with heartbreak. A lot of us have to deal with losing jobs and not having opportunities and, running the risk of not having, money. This guy didn't have to struggle with any of that. In fact, his life seemed pretty set. I did a video where I talked about him going to school, I believe, with Justin Trudeau, and his stepfather being that creepy weird guy that does all the Crime Watch shows. So he's in Hollywood, this is a guy that's he's a part of the big club that they call the Hollywood Elite Club, even though he was not like the, poster boy for like big movies or anything. He's not like a Tom Cruise. He was like a Tom Cruise of the television, smaller films too. And if you think about it, it leads to the question about doctors and their willingness to do things for money. There's good and bad everywhere. There were licensed doctors that were seeing him that denied him. But then he found some other people that were willing to, do his bidding and do the bad stuff for him. So this is, to me, it's going to make it very difficult going forward for some of these Hollywood celebrities. They might have a few doctors now kind of taking a step back thinking, do I really want to run the risk? Look, the federal government's going to come after me and do an investigation if I give this guy any drugs. And I do know medical doctors that worked with Hollywood celebrity people. And, one of the biggest things is to make sure you're treating everyone equally. I am certain person doesn't have Matthew Perry's money and his caliber lifestyle would have been rejected. I know people right now that are on pain meds for severe pain, like they're living with terrible illnesses or pain, and they don't get prescription medication easy. They have to jump through hoops to get anything. But I believe your doctors are trying to protect you because these medications, they're highly addictive and can lead you down the same path. I feel like Matthew Perry, and this is just my take on him, seems like a spoiled brat. He seems like an entitled Hollywood elitist. He seemed like somebody that clearly loved himself more than everyone else. Just read his book and you'll understand why. He treated women, in my opinion, allegedly, like crap. For him, it was a rotating door of opportunity. Everybody wanted to be with him. And he was cocky and just seemed like he deserved everything. And I feel like people that live that type of lifestyle, that's just been given everything on a silver platter and just everything is offered up to them. They have friends, they have supporters, they have people constantly helping them in and out of all of their troubles and just babying them to death. These are the people that don't cope well. These are the people that end up like how he did, spending $55,000 a month allegedly on ketamine, on medication, self-medicating himself. That's really what this is. I'm going to numb out everything about my life because I'm unhappy. With what? Plenty of guys that would die to have any one of these girls that he was with. Neve Campbell, come on, beautiful women. And this is how he wanted to live his life. It's just, to me, it never makes any sense at all.